Hello students, in the last lecture we completed SR2, the theme story. Today we are starting with chapter 3. So let's get started. First flight, chapter 3. Turn to page number 32. Two stories about flying. Page number 32 students. Now this chapter students, it is divided into two parts. The first part is his first flight by Liam O Flaherty. And second part is Black Aeroplane by Frederick Forsyth. So today we are going to take his first flight. This is also the name of this book, First Flight. So let's get started students. Students, you know that every bird is born to fly. In the same way, just like humans are born to walk and perform their activities, it is one of the daily activities of a bird to fly. But what happens if a bird does not have the courage to fly? How do his parents teach him to fly? Because that should be a natural behavior of a bird to fly. How do his parents teach him? That is what we are going to study in the story. The young seagull was alone on the ledge. Students, seagull क्या होता है? Seagull is a kind of a small duck. Not exactly a duck. It is a lot bigger than the duck, but it is somewhere between a crane and a duck. Duck or crane जितना बड़ा भी नहीं, duck जितना छोटा भी नहीं. It is called a seagull, and its main food is heron fish. Seagull की eyesight इतनी sharp होती है students. When it is flying in the sky, it can spot the heron fish which is swimming in the sea. समुद्र के अंदर heron fish हो, उसको seagull आसमान में उड़ते उड़ते देख लेते हैं, and it swoops down and with one pick it can catch the fish. तो हमारे चैप्टर का जो हीरो है ये young seagull है, ठीक है? The young seagull was alone on his ledge. Ledge means the space cut out from a mountain, just like this. Suppose ये mountain है, यहाँ पे समुंदर है. So the seagull was somewhere here. This is the space which is cut out. So here was the seagull, right? Seagull was alone on the ledge. His two brothers and his sisters had already flown away the day before. So one day before, इसके जो दो भाई है और एक बहन है, they had already flown away. उनको उड़ना आ गया था, पर इसको नहीं आ रहा है. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. He had been afraid to fly with his brothers and his sisters. उसके पेरेंट्स ने उसको सिखाया to go on the edge of the cliff. मतलब यहां से पीछे से जाओ and run forward. ऐसे आगे दौड़ो and just jump down and then you will be able to fly. His mother had told him to go back on the ledge and come running, jump down and flap your wings, you will be able to fly. लेकिन वो सीगल का प्रॉब्लम क्या है? वो ऐसे आगे आ रहा है, ऐसे दौड़ के आगे आ रहा है and suddenly he is afraid because he is looking at the sea down. वो खुद के विंग्स को ट्रस्ट नहीं कर रहा है. And when you are not able to trust your own organs, what trust can you place in someone else? You cannot do anything. It will be against your ability. So here, he attempted to flap his wings, but he became afraid. So the brink of the ledge, the edge, this is the brink. इसको brink कहते हैं. Brink of ledge. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. यहां पे ये जो नीचे खाई देख रहा है, ये बहुत ही गहरी खाई है. It was miles down. इसको डर लग रहा था कि अगर मेरे विंग्स नहीं खुले तो, अगर मैं नीचे गया और तुरंत ऐसे डूब गया तो. He is afraid. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge. बार बार ये बाहर निकल रहा था, but he was afraid and he ran back. So you can see, students, he is trying, but he has to retreat. He ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away, he failed to muster up courage. Muster up. Together. So his two brothers and sisters have got the courage to fly, and the sister is younger than him. Sister उससे भी छोटी है और वो उड़ गई है, and he is not able to muster up the courage. See, the sister's wings are far shorter than his own. They ran to the brink, flapped their wings, and flew away happily. He failed to muster up the courage to take that plunge. To take plunge means to dive. यहां से जंप करने में, डाइव करने में इसको डर लग रहा है. Which appeared to him so desperate. He was disappointed. To be desperate means to be disappointed. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him. Upbraiding, that is scolding. They were scolding him. गुस्सा कर रहे थे उसको. बे चलना जल्दी कर. क्या उधर पड़ा रहता है? चलो, fast. They threatening him to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. For the life of him. Means he was afraid of his life. उसको डर था मेरी लाइफ खत्म हो जाएगी. उसके पेरेंट्स उसको स्कोल्डिंग कर रहे हैं, कॉल कर रहे हैं, श्रिल साउंड्स निकाल रहे हैं. सीगल्स का साउंड होता है द श्रिल साउंड, वो निकाल के उसको बुला रहे हैं. बट he is not listening. उसको ये भी धमकी दे रहे हैं to let him starve. So students, the parents are trying everything to make their child understand that he is supposed to fly, but still he is not flying. So all the efforts of the parents are going in vain. Finally parents ने क्या बोल दिया, ठीक है भूखा मर, कोई हाथ में कुछ देगा नहीं. It is every parent's wish that their child should be capable. Like in humans, same in birds. But for the life of him, he could not move. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. So you can see here, 24 hours हो गए. You can see in the picture down. ये हमारा हीरो है, ये अकेला यहाँ पे बैठा है, seagull on the ledge. And 24 hours से ये यहाँ पे अकेला बैठ रहा है. Nobody is coming near him. The entire group has abandoned him. सबने इसको अकेला छोड़ दिया है. The day before, all day long, he has watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. He had seen his older brother catch his first herring fish. This is the first herring fish, and devour it. Devour means kill it. So he had seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it. And standing on a rock while his parents circled around, raising a proud cackle. Cackle is the sound of the geese. Geese, goose, seagulls, इन सबका sound होता है cackle. Cackling of geese बोलते हैं इसको. तो geese, goose और seagulls, इन सबका ये sound होता है. Cackling sound. So they were all raising a proud cackle. The father was feeling proud as the son tore the herring fish. All the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. Taunting him. They were teasing him. So taunt means to tease someone and to make them look disappointed. किसी को बार बार टॉन्ट मारने से क्या होता है, चिढ़ जाता है. चिढ़ाने को ये बोलते हैं टॉन्ट मारना. एंड उसको नीचा दिखाना, टॉन्ट मार के. So you can see where all the seagulls are. They are flying to the little plateau on the opposite cliff. You can see in the textbook, in the image, and they were taunting him with his cowardice. Please note down these meanings, students, then we shall proceed further. Let's go further, students. The sun was now ascending the sky. Ascending means going up. The sun was coming up. It was rising up in the sky. Blazing on his ledge that faced the south, he felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. Since the previous nightfall means since the previous evening. प्रीवियस इवनिंग शाम के 7 या 8 बजे के बाद से लेके अब तक उसने कुछ नहीं खाया था. It has been more than 24 hours, students. 24 hours से तो वो वही है, उसके भी एक रात पहले से. So previous nightfall, not the nightfall that has just ended, the previous nightfall. So it has been more than 24 hours since he has eaten anything. And he felt the heat of the sun. क्योंकि भूखा था, कोई एनर्जी नहीं थी. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wings, he closed one eye then the other. तो वो मतलब pretend कर रहा है जैसे कि सो रहा है, but he is not sleeping. He is looking at his group on the other side of the opposite cliff, on the plateau of that cliff. He is looking at that group. He is closing one eye and then he is opening another eye. So, बारी बारी से आंखें बंद कर रहा है and वो अपने ग्रुप को देख रहा है. He pretended to be falling asleep. Still they took no notice of him. उन्होंने तो ध्यान ही नहीं दिया. भाड़ में जाए, डरपोक है, इसको भाड़ में जाने दो. He saw his two brothers and his sisters lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. Dozing. Snoring in deep sleep, right? जब इंसान डीप स्लीप में होता है उसको आवाजें निकलती है. तो बर्ड्स भी जब डीप स्लीप में होते हैं कभी कभी आवाजें नहीं भी निकलती है, बट दे आर डोजिंग इन डीप स्लीप. So he saw his two brothers and his sisters. They were dozing with their necks on each other. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Preening means cleaning. He was rubbing the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. Now see, students, mother of course has to look at the son. Mother is looking at him. Mother is bothered कि बच्चे ने कुछ खाया नहीं है. She has to look. She was standing on the little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Her white breast was bent forward. Thrust forward means bent forward. Now and again, she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. So you can see what the mother is doing. शी स्क्रेप्ड द पीस ऑफ द फिश। फिश को ऐसे बीच में से कट करके और बार बार अपनी जो चोंच है, बराबर, उसको चोंच को रॉक के साथ शी रबिंग हर बीक विद द रॉक। द साइट ऑफ द फूड मैडेंड हिम। मैडेंड हिम मतलब ही वॉज मैडेंड विथ हंगर। उसको बहुत भूख लगी है, so he is maddened with hunger and he is looking at his food. So the sight of the food is maddening him. How he loved to tear food that way. इसको पसंद था इस तरह से फिश खाना। हेरिंग फिश इसकी भी फेवरेट है, सभी सीगल्स की होती है। खाना किसको पसंद नहीं है? खाने पीने का ये भी शौकीन। He has to go and hunt the fish. लेकिन उसको चाहिए कि उसकी मम्मी उसको खाना दे। मम्मी बोलती है बेटा मैं नहीं आऊंगी, खाना चाहिए यहां पे आओ। चिल्ला चिल्ला के बुला रहा है मम्मी को, प्लीज। हाउ ही लव टू टेयर फूड दैट वे एंड ही वॉज ऑल्सो स्क्रैपिंग हिज बीक नाउ एंड अगेन टू वेट इट। Scraping means rubbing. To wet means to sharpen. So he started sharpening his beak. He also started rubbing his beak on the rock. He wanted to sharpen his beak. Ka. He cried, begging her to bring him some food. ये उसको बेगिंग कर रहा है, हाथ जोड़ के बोल रहा है। मतलब ऐसे हाथ नहीं जोड़ रहा है, ऑफ कोर्स बर्ड्स ऐसे हाथ नहीं जोड़ते, विंग्स नहीं जोड़ते, बट ही इज बेगिंग इट। मतलब प्लीज खाना लेके आओ, मैं भूखा हूं, तरस खाओ अपने बच्चे पर। दैट काइंड ऑफ लुक। गो कोला। शी स्क्रीम्ड बैक, नो आई वॉन्ट कम। गो कोला, मैं नहीं आऊंगी खाना लेके। She screamed back derisively. That is, यहां पे लिखा हुआ है मीनिंग derisively का, in a manner that showing someone that they are stupid. So she called him stupid. नहीं आऊंगी मैं तेरे पास। But he kept calling plaintively. Kept calling plaintively. Plaintively means sadly, in a saddened way. He kept calling, and after a minute or so he uttered a joyful scream. रोते रोते बुलाना लगा, and then wow, he saw his mother picking up a piece of fish and coming towards him. Wow, mom coming towards me, very good. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly. इसने क्या किया? Food. Students, everyone has to beat his hunger. तो यहां पे सीगल को भी उसकी हंगर ही उस लेग्स तक लेके गई, उस क्लिफ के एज तक लेके गई उसकी हंगर। He was tapping the rock with his feet. He started tapping the rock. रॉक की क्लिफ की एज को ऐसे पकड़ लिया था और ऐसे बाहर झुक रहा है। Trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, मतलब आप समझ सकते हो स्टूडेंट्स, ये क्लिफ है, ये यहां पर ये सीगल है, ठीक है, ऐसे बाहर के साइड पे पकड़ के खड़ा है ऐसे, एंड उसकी मदर जो है वो यहां पर है। The mother is not coming near. Seagull is opening his mouth and is bending forward. But the mother is holding the fish, but a little away from him. When she was just opposite to him, she halted. Halted means she stopped. Her wings were motionless. The piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. तो piece of fish जो है, it was almost within the reach of his beak. He waited a moment in surprise. 1 minute वो रुका. He waited for that moment in surprise. He waited for 1 minute in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. So he was wondering why she did not come nearer. He was wondering here. But then he was so maddened with hunger that he dived at the fish. And said, oh, and then went down. So you can see, students, ये सीधे नीचे चला गया. He was diving, then fell off. And as soon as he went down, it was a big way down. Students, please note down this, then we shall go further. Let's go further, students. So, he dived at the fish and he fell down. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. सीधे यहाँ पे गिरा ये खाई में नीचे. Then a monstrous terror seized him. Monstrous terror. मतलब एक्सट्रीम फियर. क्या कर दिया मैंने? अब भूख नहीं लग रही है, नीचे गिर रहा है सीधे. Monstrous terror. Oh, I'm going. क्या होगा? Like that. His heart stood still. He could hear nothing. कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा था. His parents were calling, his brothers and sisters were calling. उसको बोल रहे थे, flap your wings, flap your wings. He could hear nothing. He kept falling down, but it only lasted a minute. ये monstrous terror, his falling down into space, ये सब चीजें सिर्फ 1 मिनट के लिए हुई. Then उसको खुद ही लगा उसके wings खुल रहे हैं. And he could feel the air coming near his wings. जैसे उसके पंख खुले, he could feel the wind on his wings, on his belly, on his body. He could feel the wind. The next moment, he felt his wings spread outwards. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach, and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. So he could feel the tips of his wings, which were cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. वो headlong नहीं, वैसे सीधे नीचे नहीं गिर रहा था. Actually, he was gliding. He was going down soft, धीरे धीरे, just like a parachute. He was soaring gradually, downwards and outwards. Gradually he was soaring, धीरे धीरे नीचे जा रहा है. He was no longer afraid. अब उसको पता है कि मैं गिरने वाला तो नहीं हूं, एकदम से धड़ाम करके नहीं गिरने वाला हूं. That he knows. तो अब उसका डर निकल गया. अब उसने क्या ट्राई किया? अब उसने सुनने का ट्राई किया. उसकी मदर्स, उसके ब्रदर्स, उसके सिस्टर सब बोल रहे पंख फैलाओ, पंख फैलाओ. And he started moving his wings. And as he started to move his wings, he started going upwards. He just felt a bit dizzy. Felt a bit dizzy means uncomfortable feeling of spinning around and losing his balance. तो थोड़ा उसको dizzy feel हो रहा था क्योंकि अभी अभी एक डाइव से निकला था. तो वो डाइव का, जैसे अपने किसी राइड में बैठते हैं तो 1 मिनट के लिए थोड़ा डिजी फील करते हैं, जस्ट लाइक दैट वो एक डाइव से निकला था. तो ही वॉज फीलिंग अ बिट डिजी, बट देन ही स्टार्टेड फ्लैपिंग हिज विंग्स एंड ही सोर्ड अपवर्ड्स. नाउ ही इज ब्रिंगिंग डाउन हिज कैकल, गा 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 गो कोला. हिज मदर swooped past him. Swooped means flew. Flew closely past him. Her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. He saw his 2 brothers and his sisters flying around him, curveting, banking, soaring and diving. These are all the different moves of the birds. So no need to write down the meanings of all these words because they are the different moves the birds make. Right? Curveting means leaping in the sky. Banking means turning, flying with one wing higher than the other. तो banking और curveting यहाँ पर दिए हुए meanings. Leaping like a horse, flying with one wing higher than the other. तो ये banking और curveting के meanings दिए हुए, but we don't need to write because these are only the words which signify the movements of a bird. Soaring, diving. And then he completely forgot that he had not always been to fly. And he commended himself to dive and soar when caught shrieking shrilly. commended himself. Commended means gave himself. So he gave himself to flying happily. Now he was totally out of danger. So he forgot that he had not always been able to fly. वो भूल गया वो चीज, वो सब अब पुरानी हो गई, अब तो मैं उड़ पा रहा. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it. अब स्टूडेंट से एक दूसरा डर, उसको ये फील होता है क्या समुद्र पे मैं लैंड हो पाऊंगा, क्या डूब तो नहीं जाऊंगा. ये एक दूसरा डर. उड़ने का डर निकल गया, डूबने का डर अभी भी है. एंड दूसरी प्रॉब्लम, अब उसके विंग्स में एनर्जी नहीं है. ही नीड्स टू ईट समथिंग. एक फ्लाइट ले ली, बट नाउ ही नीड्स टू लैंड ऑन द सी एंड ही नीड्स टू कैच हिज फर्स्ट हेरिंग. So he was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing the straight out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath it, with little ridges moving over it. He turned his beak sideways and cawed amusedly. He turned his beak sideways, उसके brothers और sisters की तरफ देख रहा है, and he cawed amusedly. मजा आ रहा है, मजा आ रहा है, मजा आ रहा है. His parents and brothers and sister had landed on the green flooring ahead of him. So here the green flooring, here it means the sea. So they had landed on the sea and they were swimming on it. वो sea पे land करके उस पे swim कर रहे हैं. They were beckoning to him. Beckoning means calling. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. He dropped his legs. जैसे ही उसने अपने पैर ग्रीन सी के ऊपर रखे, स्टूडेंट्स, उसके पैर सीधे अंदर चले गए. डरना शुरू हो गया. अरे ये क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है. खाली पैर थोड़े से अंदर गए समुद्र में एंड ही इज अफ्रेड. यार यार यार, ये समुद्र मुझे खींच रहा है, मैं अंदर जा रहा हूं, मैं अंदर जा रहा हूं, बचाओ बचाओ बचाओ. लाइक दैट. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright. And he attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. No, I don't want to go down. No, I can't sink. I want to rise up. He started flapping up his wings, but it was of no use. Because now his energy is exhausted. He was tired and weak with hunger. He could not rise. So exhausted by the strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea and his belly touched it. So belly here means underside of a bird. So his belly touched the water and then he felt he was not sinking. He was actually swimming. Then his belly touched it and he sank no further. He was floating on the sea. And around him, his family was screaming, praising him. Their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. So this is another type of dogfish. And they were praising him. Their beaks were offering him the scraps. and he had made his first flight. So here we are at the end of the chapter, students. You can note down these meanings. Now students, for this chapter, the question answers which are given behind the textbook, उसके अलावा भी दूसरे क्वेश्चन आंसर्स पूछे जा सकते हैं. खाली 5 क्वेश्चन आंसर दिए हुए टेक्स्ट बुक में, एंड इट इज मोस्ट लाइकली कि इनके अलावा भी दूसरे क्वेश्चन आंसर्स पूछे जा सकते हैं. सो it is advisable that you write all the question answers from the notes for this particular chapter, not for all the chapters. मैं ये सभी चैप्टर्स के लिए नहीं बोल रहा हूं, सिर्फ इस चैप्टर के लिए क्वेश्चन आंसर्स आप नोट्स में से लिखोगे, it will be a lot better. So please note down these word meanings and write question answers from the notes. Right? So that's it for today, students. Goodbye.